we have BenQ. I'm pleased to introduce Felix Pimentel. Thank you for being here. As a reminder, all of our sessions are recorded, and you can find those session recordings on www.lightworks.com. In the next couple of days, we will be uploading them. Please do add questions to the Q&A section in the Zoom webinar platform. We'll get those answered throughout the presentation. And at the end of this presentation, we will, of course, have a drawing for a prize. This is in addition to our grand prize drawing at the very end of our day. Felix, thanks so much for being here. Take it away.
Hello. Thank you, everyone, for participating in this virtual event. We're honored to be participating. So BenQ, in addition to its a complete line of projectors and monitors and everything that BenQ sells, we also have a line of interactive displays that is by far one of the most popular out there. And because of this, we have to, in order to stay on top of things, we have to continually innovate. And one of the things that we have recently done within the last month or so is we introduced a brand new display, the RP03 series, which is going to be replacing our RP02 line of displays. There's a lot of interesting things about it. By the way, I'm Felix Pimentel, the senior, the key partner manager for the state of California. We just newly acquired this new role. So, but the display that I have behind me is indeed that new RP7503. This is a 75-inch display. These are available in 65, 75, and 86-inch in size. Now, there's a lot of new stuff that BenQ has included in it. And BenQ has been always innovating. For instance, as you can see on this slide, there's a lot of new features that BenQ has introduced throughout the years. Others, BenQ has been the first to market, and so on. So we're very, very proud of all this innovation. For instance, on this new board that we just introduced, the speaker system is a 48-watt speaker system. It has 32 watts of front-facing power, and it also has a 16-watt subwoofer with Dolby Digital Plus sound quality. It has 6 EQ modes that are pre-set on the board. Plus, it also has an adjustable, 4-band graphic equalizer that you can use to customize for the acoustics in your room. So in terms of sound quality, it is incredibly good. We love the way this new board sounds. And not that the other generation was bad, this just builds on top of that. And so we also have been building on our new air quality sensors, which we had on the previous generation. This one has internal room temperature as well as outside room temperature. And you're going to notice that my internal room temperature is a little bit elevated. That's because today, of course, our neighbors, our groundskeepers, decided to mow the lawn just right before I started. So I had that window closed pretty much all morning, and the room got pretty toasty. But anyhow, so these boards have a temperature, of course, as I said, outside and inside. It also has the ability to measure dust in parts per million. It also measures the level of CO2 in the room. And just brand new, we introduced with this generation an air ionizer. And the way that the air ionizer works, it emits these ions that hang on or attach themselves to any pollutants in the air and helps bring them down so that the quality of the air in the room is optimum for learning. And so the other thing that we have also done, BenQ has been an innovator in this field for a long time. Every single screen on BenQ boards has had antimicrobial properties because there's a nano silver particle infused on the front surface of the board. So when you touch the screen, germs will not thrive, they will not multiply, they just die on the surface of the board. Now with this new generation board, what we have done is that we have introduced antimicrobial properties on the stylus, on the remote, as well as a keypad, any surface that the user is going to be using, it has an antimicrobial property to it. So along with the theme of just staying safe in the classroom or wherever you present. All right, so the other improvement that BenQ has rolled into this new generation board is the fastest chip that we have ever included in a board. This one is twice as fast as the previous generation, and it also has twice as much RAM. It also has 8 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of storage on the board. So it is really, really responsive, very zippy. All you need to do is just touch the board and it goes. All right, so now the rest of the improvements that we have done on these boards is that we now include Android 11 on these boards. It has 40 points of touch. And of course, it has that built-in air ionizer, as I mentioned before, Dolby Digital certified. It has faster network connectivity, as well as now we include two 65-watt USB Type-C ports on the board, so that when you're presenting, your device is not going to run out of batteries. As long as you have it plugged into the board, it'll be able to get some charge. Of course, 65 watts is enough to keep some of those devices from depleting. All right, so some of the new things that we have also incorporated on these boards is, of course, it's a brand new launcher. It has a new look to it. We have brand new widgets that go along with it. We have brand new shortcuts on the screen, and we have your favorite apps. We maintain that, so anything that you're going to be using on a day-to-day basis, you can just have them have a shortcut appear on the screen, so that way you don't have to waste time going inside the app drawer looking for it. Also, the sidebar has been improved, as you can see from my graphic here. So there's a lot of new innovation that BenQ has incorporated into these boards, from the new touch, the new front I/O, the air ionizer, and the speakers, and so on. The brand new location for the NFC sensor, and of course, the control panel that it is now antimicrobial. So all of those features are included in it. Software-wise, what we have done is we have updated our very popular Insta-Share wireless presentation system that comes for free on the board. Now it includes Miracast compatibility. It has the ability to split the screen in up to 9 or accommodate up to 9 devices that are presenting simultaneously on the screen with touchback annotation and so on. And of course, it also has the do not disturb mode, so that if a teacher is presenting, that a student or anyone else is not able to just barge in and start presenting without the teacher's permission. Also on the whiteboard connectivity, or the whiteboard feature that is on the board, we have released a brand new whiteboard. It's called Easy Write 6. Easy Write 6 has several advantages over the previous generation, and some of them are not outlined there. But some of the benefits are that now you can save up to 999 pages. And each of those 999 pages, as you save them, you can always go back to page number 1, number 2, any page whatsoever. You are going to be able to continue annotating or continue modifying that slide, that page outside after you have saved it. Previously, we could save it only as a JPEG or a PDF, which in essence basically freezes it at that point in time, but that is no longer the case. Now, this new Easy Write 6 software, the whiteboard, also will help you open IWB files, which if you're using, and I'm not going to name any names, but any other competitor software that is out there, that some teachers have had their lesson plans saved in that format, all they need to do is just export it to IWB, and they'll be able to continue to use it on a BenQ board without having to pay any subscription costs. And of course, another new feature that we have incorporated is a scalable canvas. So as you're writing on the board, your board gets filled up with information, and you just need a little bit more room. You have a 300x expandable canvas, so you can make things larger or smaller, depending on what it is that you want, but just simply pinch and zooming on the screen. And then another feature that we carried over from the previous generation because quite honestly, it works really, really well. It's the BenQ cloud services. Number one is the AMS service, where the teacher can actually log in on the board. And once they log in on the board, the teacher is able to customize their user experience. So they're going to be able to add their own wallpaper, whatever picture they prefer to use as their wallpaper. They will also be able to have their picture appear next to their name and so on. But most importantly, when they tap on the file manager, now you'll see that they will be able to access their Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, even a network drive that is locally available at the school. They will be able to access all that. And so that eliminates the fact that you no longer have to carry with a USB flash drive with all your files. Any room that you go into, the board is going to look exactly the same. So by to log in, there are 3 different ways that you can log in. You can, of course, when you tap on the login button, you'll be able to type your username and password. And that's not the recommended way, but you can generate a QR code on the screen, use your device to capture that QR code, or you can just simply present an NFC card to the board, and that will help you log in. By the way, this system also works with Azure and other single sign-on methods. So as I said, the teacher can personalize their user experience, and the beauty of this is that no matter which classroom the teacher goes to, they present that card, they log in on the board, then the board is going to look exactly the same, whether it's in this room or the room next door or any room, as long as it's being managed under the same system at the school, they'll be able to log in and have that same user experience. They personalize the board. It's their device when they are in front of it. And so other things that you have on this board, of course, is InstaShare. As I mentioned before, it has been improved. Now InstaShare, just as before, you can display devices from Windows, Apple, Chrome, anything, any device whatsoever. You're going to be able to present those up to 9 devices onto the screen at the same time. And now on the whiteboard, as I mentioned before, that scalable canvas on that whiteboard, it's really very useful. Another thing that we have on that new Easy Write 6 whiteboard is that at the request of a lot of teachers, now you can also plug in a brand name Logitech keyboard dongle, and you'll be able to just type in to the whiteboard directly onto the whiteboard. Of course, it will work with just about anything, but personally, I own that brand device keyboard. All right, so the as far as managing the hybrid learning, this is another feature that is also included with our Easy Write 6. It was also included in Easy Write 5, our previous generation board, where if you have a hybrid learning environment, some students may not have been able to make it into class on that particular day, or the student just simply likes to have the information that is presented on the board directly on their computer. Either way, you can use it in the same exact manner. So the teacher just clicks on that button there and generates a QR code. If the student is in the room with their device, they're able to capture that QR code, or just simply enter the IP address that is described on the screen, and then just enter the room ID, and you are going to be tied in. Anything that the teacher writes on the board will appear on that device, whether it's in the same classroom or at home. That's fine. They will still be able to see everything that the teacher is presenting on that whiteboard. And then the teacher can also enable co-creation, which allows the students that are either remote or at their seat to be able to contribute to the class. They'll be able to annotate, they'll be able to write things on the board, present documents, present pictures, and so on, all from the convenience of either their desk or from their home. So this is a beautiful piece for hybrid learning that BenQ has innovated on for quite some time now. Then, of course, for on that whiteboard, you could also, in addition to having all of the ability to write all things and being able to import documents, you're going to be able to also import documents from PDF documents, PowerPoint presentations, you name it, everything, including, and which is not shown on this slide, you could even have YouTube on a pop-up window on that whiteboard, as well as some classrooms also use a document camera. You can also plug in a document camera directly onto the board, be able to show it on your whiteboard effortlessly. It'll be just there as a new device that you can view within the whiteboard. So it's by far the most popular whiteboard that BenQ has ever released, quite possibly one of the most powerful whiteboards on any interactive display on the market, biased, of course. And then more tools for effective collaboration and learning. So on this brand new interactive whiteboard, the Easy Write 6, BenQ has included a ton of new tools and features that you'll be able to use in addition to the traditional sticky notes and shape and handwriting recognition features. BenQ has included a whole lot of new functions there. By the way, speaking of handwriting recognition, the BenQ board is capable of recognizing up to 31 languages. In fact, on this board behind me right now, I have it set to recognize English, Spanish, Portuguese, French, all at the same time. Any one language, if I write it on there, it's going to recognize it, and it does it very accurately. So, and the way that it works is quite simple. You just write on the board, circle it after tapping on that lasso tool, and click on EZ, and then it's just going to translate that or convert that to a text format that every student will be able to read. And then the other thing is for our pens, now BenQ is offering a whole lot more functionality in terms of the flexibility in terms of color selection. You have pre-selected colors there. You also have a whole new palette that you can select just about any color from. Then also in terms of collaboration tools, the background on your whiteboard doesn't necessarily have to be a whiteboard, right? So you have up to 28 different preloaded templates that you can use and make that whatever it is that you want you're teaching. It'll help you because now you can just select a background to help you achieve that goal. And then if there's not a background pattern that will help you with the lesson that you're about to teach, you can always import your own. You can go into your files and download it and install it and just write over it on that whiteboard. So then when we're done, of course, sharing what we have presented to the students, it's just as easy. You just click on that button there, you generate a QR code, and all your students are going to be able to download and on their device have every last little page that you saved on that board. It will be imparted and shared with the students by just simply capturing that QR code on their device. So in terms of network connectivity, of course, BenQ has maintained the same management system as before, where you would have one administrator at the school. The administrator then would have up to 10 sub-administrators, and they will be in turn able to help remotely assist any teacher, anyone who's having trouble using a board. They will also be able to update the firmware directly from their desk. They never have to go in front of the board to do any of these things. And of course, there's also the ability to send messages directly to the board. In the event of an emergency, the administrator or the school principal can just send a message to the board. And not only can you send a text message to the board, you could also use it as a digital signage piece. You can schedule messages to appear on the board at any given time. Let's say in the morning while everyone is getting settled down, whatever activities are happening at the school, you can have a series of slides just passing, informing the students of things that are about to happen on that day. When the teacher wants to use the board, just tap on the screen and they'll go away. And now the teacher will be able to use that. And so not only the board, but BenQ also offers a whole line of accessories for those boards, anything from the rolling stands to OPS computers and video cameras, you name it, BenQ has it. And of course, Lightworks and BenQ can team up to basically come in and do a demo for you, show you everything that there is to see on these boards, and help you make the best decision possible in terms of technology for your classroom. And at this point, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them for you.
Thank you so much, Felix. I do have a question here. Can you please describe the wireless interactivity capabilities of the board?
Yes, so there are two types of wireless interactivity. One of them is included with the board. Basically, it's our InstaShare software. And the InstaShare software, there are two versions, by the way. We have the original that's still available, and if that's what your teachers want to use, they can continue to use that. It still works great. It's awesome. But BenQ recently added the new InstaShare 2 wireless solution. On this solution, now we have the ability to still connect from Windows, Mac OS, iPads, any device really that you're going to use in the classroom, you'll be able to connect. If on the Mac or iOS component, you can actually AirPlay directly to the board. You don't need to install any software whatsoever, and you'll be able to cast your image to the screen. A new thing that we have introduced on this version now is that you can have your image, the teacher's computer, on a floating window on the screen, and then you can select small, medium, or large, drag it anywhere you want, but you still maintain full use of whatever other application is running in the background, be able to use that, and your computer is there to reinforce that teaching. Of course, as I mentioned before, you could also split the screen in up to 9 devices, and that is included free of charge. There's no charge whatsoever for it, as long as you own the board. Now, there's a second device, which I have it in my demo van. I should have brought it upstairs, but it's very similar to this device. It's basically, we call it InstaShow. For InstaShow, there's a receiver that attaches to the back of the display, connects to the board, and so on. And with the InstaShow has a couple of buttons that come with the kit. You just plug it into your computer and wait for the light to turn green. When it's green, basically it just means that it's completely booted. And what you do is just push the button, single button push, your image goes up onto the screen. No need to worry about the network connectivity or anything, because this device will establish its own network connectivity with the receiver outside of your network. So it doesn't interfere with the network capabilities at the school. You can have as many of them as you want. There's no crosstalk. There's no interference with any of them. And that is a separate device that you can purchase. We also have on the InstaShow device a SKU that is designed specifically for education. It's a WDC20E. Thank you, neighbor. And that is also available right now. Anyway, any additional questions, or did that answer it for you?
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. Excuse me. That was the perfect answer, and I had the wonderful experience of being able to witness the InstaShare live in person recently. It is very impressive to especially be able to interact with your computer wirelessly. Typically, we do have a USB connection, and this does work phenomenally. So I can speak from experience that it is pretty terrific. So can Zoom Room software be integrated, and what screen sizes are available? That's one of the next questions.
These boards, by the way, especially when you're using the BenQ OPS computers and everything, the Zoom cameras, we have a partnership with Zoom, and we are Zoom certified. So Zoom Rooms, you'll be able to use, and I apologize, I'm not 100% up to speed on Zoom Rooms, but I do know, and I have seen the documentation, that our boards are Zoom Room certified, and so in terms of that, yes, you'll be able to achieve just about anything that you need to do with Zoom.
Thank you so much. Do you offer any special warranty extensions for education customers?
Yes, the boards normally come with a 3-year warranty. For our education customers, we usually offer a 5-year warranty. And if that is a phenomenal warranty, because if something should go wrong with the board, and this is, and when I say that, it's because, of course, everything, there are limitations to everything. But what I usually tell my customers is just don't be afraid. Just play around with the board. If ever you get to the point where it doesn't work the way that when you first originally got it, you can always restore the board to its factory condition by just clicking on the factory reset, and it'll reset the board to completely factory condition. If for any reason the board is truly broken, which is very rare, using that warranty, we can RMA the board, and you're going to get a new replacement board on your doorstep in virtually no time at all. So don't worry about it. BenQ is not going to send a technician to take the board apart and try to fix it on site. We're going to just RMA it, and you're going to get a replacement board and be on your way, be happy once again.
That's great. Is BenQ Cloud required for remote sharing?
No, not exactly. You can just be on your basically your network. There are, of course, as with anything, we have some ports that need to be open, but we can provide that information to our Lightworks technicians, and they can guide the customer to set up everything the way that they need it to be. But no, the BenQ, for BenQ Cloud Services, you do have to have an account. Of course, the administrator needs to set up a BenQ Cloud Services account. That is completely free. There's no charge for that at all. There is training that BenQ provides from for the admin training, also end user training. We guide the customer through every single step of the way, and there are no limits on the number of training sessions that we can provide. So whether you need training today or 2, 3, 4 years from today, as long as you're using a BenQ board, you're going to have BenQ full and complete support.
Excellent. Can you do annotation on PowerPoint presentations without having to save them? And will those annotations be persistent if you move back or forward on the presentation?
Yes, that's a great question, by the way. So on the application that comes pre-installed from the factory, it's called WPS Office. There was a version that was released that would not allow you to annotate over the slides and keep the annotations and so on. Right now, we're back to the point where, yes, you can annotate over your PowerPoint presentations. You can advance them. You can keep those presentations. Yes, that is true. And by the way, another thing that is also available right now on this brand new board is the floating tool. Now we have things like this virtual highlighter, where if you want to highlight something for the kids, you can do that directly on the screen. If you press this button, now any annotations you have, you can advance your slide and it pauses your annotations. And then when you want to see them again, you could uncheck that and it will reveal them once again. So there's a lot of new features that are included on this brand new board. And I'm so happy, so proud of it. I just wanted to show it and demo it for you at your local school.